My grandma's house always smelled of old books and lavender. After she passed, I spent weeks sorting through a lifetime of memories. Tucked away in the attic, under a dusty sheet, was her old radio. A beautiful wooden thing from the 40s, with a big fabric-covered speaker and a dial that glowed like a warm ember. It hadn't worked in years, but seeing it brought back a flood of memories. Grandma listening to the news, her fingers tapping along to swing music. I decided to fix it. For her, I'm no electronics expert, but I'm decent with a soldering iron. I spent a whole weekend hunched over its guts, replacing brittle wires in dusty tubes. It was a puzzle from another era. Finally, with a deep breath, I plugged it in. The dial flickered to life. A soft crackle, then static. My heart sank a little. I twisted the tuning knob, expecting nothing. But then, a voice cut through the hiss, crystal clear. Double quotes, ... And in market news, shares for AstroVenture Corp skyrocketed today after their successful helium-3 mining operation on the moon. I froze. AstroVenture Corp mining on the moon. I checked my phone. No such company existed. The news anchor continued, her voice calm and professional. She talked about self-driving sky lanes in New York and the upcoming global climate summit in the floating city of Atlantis too. It sounded like something out of a sci-fi novel. I twisted the dial again. Static. Then, another station. A pop song, but with a beat and synth I'd never heard. The lyrics were about missing someone across the stars. It was beautiful, but completely alien. Every day after that, I'd rush home from work, go straight to the attic, and turn on the radio. It was a window into another time. I heard weather reports for cities that didn't exist yet, commercials for holographic pets, and sports commentary for a zero-gravity league called Eerie. The broadcasts weren't always on. Sometimes, all I got was static. But when they came through, it was magical. I started taking notes, filling notebooks with strange stock names, technological breakthroughs, and future historical events. I felt like I was holding the world's biggest secret. But the most incredible broadcast came about a month later. It was a late-night talk show. The host was interviewing an old woman, a historian specializing in the pre-digital age. She was talking about her childhood, about life before the global network and instant information. She mentioned her grandmother, a woman who loved a garden and listened to an old wooden radio. Then she laughed, a familiar, warm laugh that sent a shiver down my spine. It was my grandma's laugh. The historian said, "My grandmother always used to tell me, the past isn't gone. Darling, it's just listening on a different frequency." She believed we could still hear them if we just tuned in correctly. The host asked for her name, and she said it, a name that was almost mine, but not quite. The name my parents had considered for me before settling on the one I have. It was my future granddaughter. Suddenly, it all made sense. The radio wasn't just picking up the future. It was a bridge, a connection. This wasn't about winning the lottery or becoming a tech mogul. It was about something much more profound. It was a message sent across time. My grandma, in her own way, had found a way to let me know that love, that family, transcends everything. Even time itself. I started to understand why Grandma kept the broken radio. Maybe she knew. Maybe she hoped someone would one day fix it and hear the echo of the future she helped create. The broadcasts started to feel different after that. Less like a secret intel drop and more like letters from family I hadn't met yet. I heard snippets of birthday parties, lullabies, and conversations about their day. It was mundane, it was beautiful, and it was everything. One day, I heard a broadcast that made my heart stop. It was a news report about a massive structural failure in a new bridge being built downtown. The date they mentioned was the next day. A panic surged through me. I had to do something. I made an anonymous tip to the city's engineering department. I didn't say it was from a future radio. I just said I'd overheard some construction workers talking about safety concerns. I sounded like a crazy person. I know. But I had to try. The next morning, the headline on the local news was "Potential Disaster Averted at Downtown Bridge Site." They'd halted construction and found critical stress fractures, exactly where the future report said they would be. I saved lives. Sitting there in the quiet attic, with the warm glow of the radio dial on my face, I realized the gift I'd been given. It wasn't just for me. It was a responsibility. The radio's still here, in the attic. I don't listen every day anymore. I've learned that knowing too much about the future can be a heavy burden. But sometimes, when I'm feeling lost, or I just miss my grandma, I'll go upstairs, turn the DL and just listen. I listen for the songs, for the news, for the faint, crackling sound of a family's love, broadcasting across the years. It's a reminder that we are all connected, and that the little things we do today, like fixing a broken radio, can echo into tomorrow in ways we can't possibly imagine. Thank you so much for joining me on this little journey through time. If this story resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. It means the world to me. See you in the next one.